You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel.
Press your ear to the rail. Episode 5, Wildlife.
When I first came here, Milton Creek was terribly polluted by the old Sittingbourne mill. And when you got off the train at Sittingbourne, it was, oh, we're here. You knew it. If the tide was out, the place had its own odour. It smelled like rotten eggs. So, of course, when someone dropped the stink bomb on the train going home one night, I didn't even notice it. And I got the blame.
Jim and Daniel have decided to take a stroll along the banks of Milton Creek, the muddy waterway that bounds the western edge of the SKLR. They want to record the sounds of birds, but that's easier said than done. No sooner do the birds take one look at the microphone than they start flapping their wings, flying off to the furthest reaches of the opposite bank.
We've come here to record these birds, and 3 minutes ago there was about 500 birds sitting on the banks here, and they've all flown off to the opposite bank as far away as they can get. Daniel, why are they being uncooperative?
I think it's your mic, it's scared them off.
My microphone, it's nothing to do with you and me then?
Well, it might be that.
We're a bit larger than the microphone.
It's always the way, whenever you want to do something, nature sort of disappears.
The main emphasis is on bees and their decline. Bees and birds, really. Oh, and butterflies.
Well, it's providing all the different sorts of habitats for different sorts of wildlife. We've left the grass in the garden at the end. We don't mow it all through the summer. We leave it to grow long, and it's produced a lot of wildflowers. We just cut paths through it, and the children love running around the paths and not bashing down all the other grass. So there's lots of flowers for the bees and the other insects. This year we suddenly discovered all these bees burrowing into one of the sandy bits of bank. And they are actually ivy bees, which have only colonised England in the last few years. They're new to the country, but they're spreading all the way around the coast and now coming inland.
I'm out on the creek surrounded by waders, wildfowl and all manner of salt marsh plants. The ebbing tide has enticed away the water, exposing a vast expanse of mudflats. Some of them shine, reflecting, miming the affectations of the overbright grey sky. Some of them gather up the light, selfishly keeping it to themselves before concealing it, burying it in colourless chambers. I take a deep breath. The wildness is entering me like a transfusion. I step off the high bank, drawn by the eelgrass, samphire and sea kale. The sharp calls of plover, pintail and oystercatcher ring above me. Already I'm sinking, waist deep into the mud. Down I go, that cold thick mud drawing me down. The waters will return later, seeping in over my head, but I don't particularly care. I feel the wildness entering, and I empty into it.
When we arrived, the railway and the land here had been closed, I've forgotten how many years. Not so many, but when we arrived here, it was an absolute wilderness.
Right, this is Milton Park on a sunny day, and Daniel's going to tap an abandoned supermarket trolley. Well, Daniel, it sounds to me like this trolley's in pretty good nick. What do you think?
It sounds like it, yeah.
It's standing next to a stagnant pool of water rather than in a supermarket. How do you suppose it got here?
I don't know, I was just thinking that actually, because it must be quite a way from the supermarket, so to wheel that all this way or drag it, I don't know. It's quite a task, I would have said.
And do you think there's any indication what the supermarket of origin was?
Well, probably has to be, and it's green, I would imagine. They've got those special narrow wheels, so I suppose that's supposed to be you can't get them out because they go in those grooves, but obviously someone's got it out. And it's a fairly new one and all.
We'll let them know it's here. They can come and reclaim it, because from the sound of it, it's still in good nick.
You can go into the supermarket there and park up, walk through the gate and up on the platform. Well, last year, the local wildlife came up there and wrecked the place, and so it's out of commission at the moment. Oh, it must have had some crowbars, and they pulled all the concrete down onto the track, smashed everything up. They really enjoyed themselves. You know. Tell the police, but no, they didn't do anything really. There's too many ways into it, really. Some places are fenced off, but they find a way in.
It was Friday night. Me and my best friend Trace were bored out of our skulls. She has nothing to do in Sittingbourne. It's the council, innit? They locked up the dance clubs, closed down the music pubs, and boarded up the cinema. I reckon they'll shut the cemeteries next. So, Trace turns to me and says, "Here, Vicky, what says we go up the SKLR and give the fence a good kicking?" Trace don't like the SKLR fence, see? She says it gives her funny looks when she walks past. But, thing is, it's no good kicking fences in your Converse. Now, it's one of those strange family things, genetics they call it, but my brother, Dale, even though he's 6'6", he's got very small feet for his size. Size 5, that's what he takes. So his Doc Martens fit both me and Trace, because our feet are roughly the same size, see? So we just nick them. Someday, I'm going to buy a pair of industrial boots for myself. You can stand in an acid bath all day and drop a hammer on your toes when you're wearing them industrials. So, off we go up SKLR. It's all creepy at night. All deserted on that viaduct. When we get there, the fence is all gone. There is no fence. Instead, some idiots planted a load of old flowers. Vicky, where's the fence gone? I don't know. Vicky, what are those things? What? The flowers, Trace? Pansies and geraniums, like with petals and all that. I don't like it, Vicky. What don't you like? I don't like the way they're looking at me. Let's give them the right good kicking. So we race over, but just before we start booting them flowers around, something weird happens. Out from the middle of a shrub, a pair of eyes appear, glowing like 2 pen lights on a USB stick. We stop dead. Next thing, another set of eyes appears, and then another. Soon, there's like hundreds and thousands of eyes staring at us. I'm scared, Trace, I say. What are they? I think they're animals. You mean wildlife? Yeah, wildlife. We ran then, fast as we could, far away as we could get. Someday, I hope the people who build all the houses build something over that flower bed. That'll learn them, bloody wildlife.
Will the lady who left her baboon on the 2 o'clock express from Sittingbourne Junction kindly come to the Lost Property Office to collect it? Waiter? What's that? Oh, very well. The baboon would like a word. And be careful with that microphone, these things cost a small fortune.
I tell you what, if that's a baboon, my name is Engelbert Timberlake. So I know me ape from me elbow.
When they used to have the power cables running up there, They used to dig them up, you know, that copper. They've all been taken up now, but they used to rip them up. It's unbelievable. All sorts of wildlife.